Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're having a great day. But I'm here to explain every single one of the Ghost Reactor tools in, well, the Ghost Reactor. Ta-da! So, for a quick little thing, um, I'm going to explain how to use everything efficiently and how to use it to be get most out of your money, to be specific. I will explain upgrades, but I'm not going to have them showcased because that's a lot of money. But maybe one day I will. But just trust me whenever I say I'll explain everything, okay? So, starting off with the baton, probably the most basic use of your damage. You go around, you hit things with it, it's amazing. No matter what the enemy is, except the Phantom, don't try to defeat the Miner because it's not going to do anything. The baton is used to consistently deal damage no matter what the enemy is, whether it be a pest or a crawler, spitter, you name it. A regular baton can be used to kill a crawler in 5 hits and a pest in 1 hit. But what I do recommend for the pest, you don't even need to use the charge part like this. You don't even need to use that. All you gotta do is go up to it and smack it twice, and it's dead without even having to spend any of your energy. For the crawlers or just anything else in general, there is a little hidden mechanic that I don't see many people talk about, is the knockback mechanic, which whenever upon first hitting an enemy, you smack it and it gives a little bit of knockback. Who would have known? But as the tiers go up, there are better knockback upgrades for each of the things. So for lead core, it gets slightly more knockback. For osmium core, more knockback, and so on. You get the point. But also with upgrades, as you upgrade it, it gets more damage. So for example, regular crawler against a regular baton, it deals 5 hits of damage to fully take it out. Pretty good. But as time goes on, or not time, as upgrades go on, you deal more damage no matter what the enemy is. So with lead core, it's 4 hits to kill a crawler, osmium 3, electrified spikes you get 8, it's 2. It's easier to deal more damage, and honestly, it's just an amazing tool. Really, probably one of the top 3 tools here that you can get in the Ghost Reactor. I definitely do recommend trying to get the upgrades. It's really good to use, and it's easy to understand, hopefully. Yeah. Overall, for both solo and group runs, this is a necessity, no matter if you're playing by yourself, obviously, or playing with a group. It's easier to take out things that you don't exactly need to be dealing with, because, let's be honest, we don't want to deal with those ghosts. No, but all in all, I definitely do recommend going into and researching a lot of the stuff for the baton. I definitely recommend... Oh, oopsie, my bad. I definitely do recommend it. It's very good no matter what you do, and it's a really good investment. Yes, they do get more expensive, and it is the most expensive tool in the game, but it's amazing no matter what you do. So, baton, really good no matter what you use. Now, going on to the collector. The collector is probably another one of the most important tools, if not the most important tools, because, well, who would have known? It collects cores. It can hold up to 10 cores on base level. Actually, all levels hold up to 10 cores value. I'll get into that in a second. And let's be honest, do you really want to be collecting cores with your bare hands? No, because it takes too long. Like, even just 5 cores takes, like, a long time. So, you go in, there's a core on the floor. Let's imagine there's a core on the floor. You pick it up, trigger button, boom, you collect it. There's 1 charge on here. This is also good. It's like a portable battery. It's like a portable battery. So let's say I'm using my baton and it's already down to half battery. So I get the collector, I do this with the trigger button, and it charges. Amazing. Really helpful no matter what you use it for, and pretty much a necessity no matter what run, solo or group run. You basically a support and a self-sustaining battery no matter what you do. Now, going on to upgrades. The second upgrade, not really going to have the names in common, just think of like the second, third upgrade for this. Second upgrade, it collects cores over time. So for example, you're not doing anything and you can't go out and collect cores for whatever reason. It will slowly trickle in and collect cores over time. It's really slow, but I definitely do. It's good in some situations where you can't find any cores and need to charge people's stuff. Oh, excuse me. It's easy. It's just better. I definitely do recommend that upgrade for starters, for people who can't access the 3rd level upgrade, because I'll get to that in a second. Because it's a way to get more cores without having to get cores. Yes, it takes a long time, but it's kind of worth it in some situations. I've had a lot of times where that's definitely helped me out because I needed to charge my baton and I haven't found any cores. It's very niche, but it's still really good. Now, the second intake, or no, not the second intake, the 3rd upgrade. The 3rd upgrade allows it to collect double intake on any cores you collect. So, for example, you have a core in hand, you want to collect it, and instead of collecting 1 core, it actually collects 2 cores. So, in reality, instead of having to collect 10 cores to get a max collector, you only need 5, which is absolutely amazing, especially in larger group runs that you can't really find cores because everyone's grabbing cores real fast. 5 cores, you're done. It's amazing. I genuinely use this all the time, no matter what run I'm in. But yes, it is expensive, but it's worth it. You'll make your money back in a couple rounds if you're really trying to get value out of this. Overall, I definitely do recommend that upgrade if you're a higher tier in the Ghost Reactor. But either way, still pretty good. Now, for the 4th upgrade, which is, if I remember correctly, it's Hurricane Intake. Hurricane Intake combines the properties of all 3 and adds the bonus effect of area recharge, which area recharge, oh, what is that? Area recharge is where you can charge multiple weapons at a time. So I have my baton, it's it's dying. Obviously, you've been using it. I hope you've been using it. You better be using your baton and helping out your team. You charge it, and instead of just charging you, if anyone else is in a radius beside you that needs their weapons or tools to be charged, it will also charge that in an area as well. I definitely think that upgrade is really good because it's good for group efforts, and especially like if you happen to be really good at Reactor and you're the only collector, I definitely do recommend using that upgrade so you can easily charge everyone's stuff without having to charge everyone specifically, if that makes sense. But another thing is too, whenever going back to what I said, your baton's half charge and you need to charge it. Instead of taking the amount of charge it would be needing to charge everything in that radius, it would actually only be at the price of 1 charge. So effectively, you're charging everything for not even 1 core price, if that makes sense. Very, very interesting. I know it's difficult to explain, or if you're not getting it, then I hope you can find someone else that could understand it a little bit or explain it a little bit better. But it's really good. Collector, probably top 1 best tool to use in the game. You cannot go any run without using this. And that's the collector. The lantern. Now the lantern is honestly, it's not a bad tool. Don't get me wrong. No matter what you use it in, the lantern is amazing in everything you do. Especially, I only say this. Lantern is good if you don't know the map. What do you mean, don't know the map? As you progress on further into the game, you start to memorize the map layouts and start to understand where things are in different spots. So the need for a lantern becomes not exactly useful. But if you're a new player, I definitely do recommend, if you're a new player, just get the level 2 lantern, which I'll get in a second. But it's really just used to, well, it's a lantern. It lights up dark places, like, ooh, dark. But yeah, it definitely does make things easier to see, especially in like really dark levels that you can't find anything. And you'll have this to help you guide your way through. Yeah, just guide your way through. Now, for the second upgrade of the lantern, it actually turns it into an infinite light source, if that makes sense. Only when held, though. So let's say this is a level 2. I turn it on, or actually, you don't even need to turn it on. You just need a... Oh wait, no, you do need to turn it on. You turn it on, it stays on, but it doesn't lose battery. As you can see, this lost a little bit of battery just from using, and it turns off after a while. So, honestly, just it turns on, and it stays on indefinitely as long as you're holding down the trigger, which is really good, especially if you don't really want to be carrying a collector. You're not able to charge it, so it just makes it easier if you can't really charge yourself for whatever reason. All in all, I definitely do recommend that upgrade if you really need to use the lantern, but if you don't need to use it, I don't recommend using it. Now, for the third upgrade of the lantern, it actually turns into an infinite light source like the previous upgrade, but you don't need to hold it at all. So you can literally leave it on the floor and it'll be lit up for eternity, basically, as long as it's no, even whenever it's dead. Even whenever it's dead here, it still has light. But what does the upgrade do? Oh, it just sounds like an infinite light source. That's nothing new. No, that's not all. Whenever you press the trigger button on that upgrade, it actually drops a flare that can be there. It's like a really mini light source. It's weaker than a regular lantern, but it's still okay in case you get lost. You can just like leave a trail of flares every time you press the trigger button. So like pretend I'm pressing the trigger button a lot. Boom, flare right there. Boom, flare right there. They look like tiny glow sticks, if that makes sense, just to give it a better view of what they look like. They're like tiny white glow sticks, like about the size of this. They give kind of good light, but not all the best. It's kind of good, especially if you don't have, or no, if you do have, what is it called? The wrist stocks or the Ratty Backpacks, because you can easily just put it on the backpack or the wrist stock and you can just carry it, and it's an infinite light source no matter what you do. All in all, it's okay upgrade. It's kind of better than the last upgrade, but it is more expensive, so it is, do what you wanna. Now, the final upgrade of the lantern is the Gamma Burster. I do remember that name because, believe it or not, lantern was my first max upgrade. So I was kind of like attached to it because I didn't like, no, this is my first max upgrade. I was just so proud of it until I realized like it's okay. But anyways, the max upgrade for the lantern actually is an indefinite light source again, yes, as long as you're holding it though, which is kind of a bad thing, but it's really bright. I'll tell you that. It's like twice as bright as this lantern, which should say something because it is a max upgrade. I hope it gets better as you use it. But instead of dropping flares like the previous upgrade, it actually illuminates all ghosts areas or locations, for example. So whenever you press the trigger button, like pretend I'm a ghost, you'll see like this white circle that forms like in my torso, and you'll be able to see my location. It's pretty cool, but it's very niche whenever you need to use this for any situation for whatever reason, because there's not really a time where you need to find like ghost location just so you can get a core, but you do you. I don't really recommend upgrading the lantern as it's not really a good investment in the long run, but you know what, you do whatever. If you find the lantern enjoyable to use, then go ahead. I'm not here to stop you, but I'm just saying, save your juice on better upgrades for like the Baton, the collector, or maybe even a couple other things that are coming up. Yeah, that's the lantern. I hope this can clear up some things about what its upgrades do, because not a lot of people have the upgrades and talk about it that easy. But other than that, yeah, that's the lantern. Now going on to our next one. The shield shooter. The shield shooter is probably one of the most underrated tools in the entire game, believe it or not. Okay, for some quick notice, your monkey, whenever you go into the ghost reactor, has 3 lives. 3 lives, or 3 hearts, as we're gonna see with another tool in a second. You have 3 hearts no matter what you do. So whether it's taking a hit from a pest, from a crawler, a spitter, the head thrower guy, that's 1 heart of damage, unless you die in the acid, which is an insta kill no matter if you're full health or not. What this does gives you an extra 4th life. No, not temporarily, indefinitely, as long as you have it on. So I'll have the shield shooter, it shoots me, boom, that's an extra heart right there. I'm not gonna have a way to clear this off, so just bear with me with this thing on. Infinite 4th life, it's amazing. Even against the monk eye, if you don't have any of the upgrades and you need to go against the monk eye solo, you can just use this, and it's an easy way to win with anything. It's a really good support item no matter what team you're using, whether it's a solo or full team. It's easily probably one of the best support items in the game, no matter what it is. Now going on to the second upgrade, the True Blight Nozzle. It's the same thing as the regular shield shooter, but instead think of yourself as a portable lantern with a fourth life. So you maybe not like that. You shoot yourself with the thing, and you basically have like a lantern light source. No matter, you probably can't see it. Well, there's like a lantern light source on you at all times until you lose the fourth life, which it's kind of good, especially if you don't have any other upgrades of the shield shooter unlocked. I definitely do recommend this one over the regular because it can actually help some players instead of just being an extra life, you know? Now, the third upgrade for the shield shooter is the stealth nozzle. The stealth nozzle is probably one of the most underrated solo gems of all time, as it's very niche. Well, maybe not even niche, just like in any level that you're struggling and you're surrounded by ghosts, shoot yourself with the nozzle and it gives you temporary stealth for 30 seconds. Yes, 30 seconds. That's enough time to take out like a quarter of the monk guy's health with just hitting it consistently, which is really good, especially in solo. I know I've said this a couple times, but I'm telling you, I've used the stealth nozzle so many times, and I've gotten past the monk guys like there's nothing, like they're regular ghosts. I definitely do recommend that. It's really good, even in group runs too. Like in later levels, you get swarmed by ghosts, you can easily shoot them and give them stealth, and they can just get out of whatever situation they're in. Really good. I definitely do recommend it. Probably one of the most underrated upgrades of all time. But overall, amazing upgrade, no matter what you do. Now, the final upgrade for the shield shooter is the medic nozzle. What does the medic nozzle do? Well, think of it as a regular shield shooter, obviously, but it heals your monkey back to full health. So, for example, let's say a fellow monkey is coming in and they have, let's say 1 heart left out of the 3 hearts they get. So, not only on top of getting you a new shield, an extra 4th heart, it restores their full health back to normal. So from 1 heart goes to 3, and you have a shield unlocked too. I wish it would give it the ability to have the compatibility of the True Blight nozzle, because it can give it some light. But it is what it is. It is pretty expensive. It's good if you're gonna be a dedicated support, then yes, use that upgrade. But other than that, in solo run, it's not really that good. I'd rather recommend using the stealth nozzle over the regular, or the stealth nozzle over the medic nozzle. But you do you. This is probably one of the most underrated tools in the entire game. I use it a lot, no matter what situation you're in. It's just really easy to use. Okay, and yeah, that's the shield shooter. Going on to our next item, the revive. So, unfortunately, the revive does not have any upgrades, which I do have a lot of concepts for what it could be, but we're not going to get into that now. So, the revive, $100. It is kind of a high rank to get, if I remember correctly. I think you have to be intern. Either way, what it does is it's a portable shower. Instead of having to walk all the way across the map to come back into the drill and revive it yourself in the shower, and you have a friend with you, they can carry the revive. All you gotta do, point it, trigger button. I'm not gonna use it. Actually, no. Trigger button. And believe it or not, this has a very large range. It does have 3 charges of use, so use it wisely if you don't have a collector. It's really good. It's probably a really good necessity for later level runs, if that makes sense. Like if you're going really deep and you need to make sure, especially whenever you have a huge setup of stuff, very expensive to lose and you can't really afford to lose it, definitely recommend having someone, at least one person, using the revive. And there's 2 hidden texts to the revive. If you have the live camera, which is the camera I'm using right now, like the camera that's here, you can use it as a way to find dead people. So if they're not using the camera and it's just hanging around there, your dead monkey would actually still have the camera visible. So whoever's using the revive can have an easier time finding who's dead instead of just looking for someone that's using their voice. It's just more effective and easier to use. It's kind of niche, but it's still really good. And the other really, really strong tech that mostly good players know about is what a thing called I call fishing. So what is fishing, you ask? Let's say you're at the meteor monster, you just killed it, but all your stuff is in the water. Yeah, it sucks. I know, it's happened to all of us at least once. So what you want to do is get your monkey, jump into the acid. Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but hang on. Jump into the acid, then someone else who has the revive goes up to the water. Let's say the water's right here. Don't have you, the dead monkey, don't have your body fully out of the water, kind of have like your head below the water, and someone shoots the revive and revives you in the water. Crazy, right? But it's a way, it's probably one of the only ways to get tools out of the acid, because I've dropped so many Osmium core batons in the acid. I've almost bought so many more, but fishing is probably the best way to get your tools back, no matter the acid pool. The only thing is, if the acid pool is really shallow and your monkey hitbox, because like where you die from the acid is kind of like in this area, like your neck area, because that's where your hitbox is. Dang, I'm really stuffy, I'm sorry. That's where your hitbox is, and that's where you'll die if you jump in the acid. So kind of be careful with this, but revive definitely probably underrated gem, honestly, but it's good for long runs and team runs no matter what you do. And that was the revive. Going on to our next item. No, not you. No. The flash. The flash is probably another one of the top 3 most important tools to use in the game, like the baton and the collector. It's really useful. As you see many people in later levels, the ghosts start to have this blue armor on them. What does it do? If you're a new player, that's spectral armor. You cannot deal any sort of damage whatsoever to these ghosts unless you have a flash. What does the flash do? It takes 5 charges to take out 1 crawlers or spitters, and 3 to take out any shielded pests. So 5 charges, you do like this, press the trigger button, press and hold it down, and it takes out 1 tick of armor. For a base flash, it needs 5 ticks in order to take out a ghost's armor completely. Now another little hidden tech, I say hidden because it's not really hidden. Another hidden tech is that this flash has infinite pierce. So you can hit as many ghosts as you can as long as they're in line of sight. And the line of sight of this thing is really, really long. Like, I'm telling you, it's like, you see that? Almost reached us up to the drop pods over there from where I was. If you can manage to line up a ton of shielded ghosts and flash them all, you're basically getting the most value for 1 flash. It's really good. I don't really see many people talk about it. Same thing with a lot of other things that I've said here. But I definitely do recommend trying to use that if you're going to be using the flash, to at least try to get the most value out of it. Especially if you don't have any things that can like charge you, like the collector, like anyone who's using a collector. Now going on to the next upgrade. The next upgrade is, I forgot what it's called. The next upgrade combines onto here, and it's basically a regular flash, but it can stun enemies for, I believe, 3 seconds from what I've seen. So if you're ever in a bad situation and you don't have like stealth nozzle, for example, on you, then you just get the flash and you shoot them. It stuns them for a little bit, and it gives you enough time to get out of whatever situation you're in. I've used it a lot in earlier levels before I've gotten the later upgrades, because it's just really useful, especially if you're trying, like, same thing goes with if your team is in trouble, you shoot them with it and you can get them out of situations. It's really easy to use. It's not that hard to understand, but yeah. Now the later upgrades, level 3 and 4 for the flash upgrade, basically combine the same thing as the previous upgrades, but they just deal less ticks of damage. But no, it deals more damage to their armor, but you need to use it less. So for the third upgrade of the Flash, it combines the stunning of the previous upgrade, but it only requires 2 ticks of Flash, 2 or 3 ticks, I don't remember specifically, but I do think it's 2. 2 ticks of Flash, and it takes out any armor completely. Really good value. It's kind of expensive for what it does, but it's really good for for deeper runs. A lot of things I'm going to be saying is for deeper runs, because it really is. Because you want more efficiency out of your tools if you're going to be in deeper runs. So, oh, and another thing is too, for the third level Flash, instead of taking 3 hits to take out an armored pest, aka armored infected Doug, or whatever you want to call it, it only takes 1. Kind of good, but honestly, and shielded pests are like the most annoying enemy they've ever added. Either way, it sucks, but yeah, it takes 1 tick for pest and 2 ticks for any other ghost that has armor on. And the final upgrade, it just 1-taps any armor. It's very expensive, yes, but like I said, 1-taps any armor no matter what the ghost is. So the summoner, the spitter, the crawler, the pest, it takes out all armor in 1 tap. Probably the most efficient way to use it, but yes, it is really expensive. And really good overall. Really good team upgrade, or not team upgrade, team tool to use. Oh, hey. Oopsies, I'm sorry about that. Really good upgrade to use no matter what run you're in. Yeah, probably one of the top 3 most needed tools for the entire game. Now we're going on to our next tool, the shield. Now, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, the shield is kind of worse than the lantern. Oh, but it's a shield, it can protect you. Yeah, but protection is niche. Because honestly, it's better to dodge attacks than rather just shield yourself and hope that you don't get hit. Because a shield is kind of designed for enemies that have projectiles, and the only enemy that has projectiles are the spitter, aka the head thrower, and not really using a shield anytime after that. I mean, yes, you can block Doug or Pest's attack, because like, let's say it's right there and it's jumping, you can block it. But it just doesn't do anything else other than that. It's really niche to use. And honestly, this should be like one of the last things you're buying if you have everything else, because it really doesn't serve a purpose. It honestly needs a buff. Or if they, in the future, I do recommend, if anyone's watching this, which I don't think is going to happen, at least let the projectiles deal damage in any sort of way. Or like, okay, the shield just needs a buff. Like, no matter what upgrade it is, it just needs a buff. Now, for the second upgrade of the shield is the sling shield. It just reflects projectiles. That's it. It does nothing else. And then after that, I'm not going to take too long on this one. There's nothing really going for the shield. The next upgrade, the third upgrade for the shield, is the harm shadow. The harm shadow, what does it do? Well, it's supposed to, I say supposed to, deal the damage of a base baton. Now, the base baton, it doesn't deal good damage, especially whenever you need higher damage, but it's a shield, so I guess it's okay. But it's a shield. It's not really used for combat compared to everything else in this game. And then the final upgrade is literally the same thing as the third upgrade. Total defense array just does nothing else special. I wish I could be lying about this, but don't really spend your juice on the shield because there's nothing really going for it right now. I really hope they buff this or make it more useful in any way, but like I said, that should be one of the last tools you're getting. Now, we're going on to the things that don't exactly, or just saying, the tools. The wrist stock. Now, the wrist stock is really, really special because in longer runs, especially in solos, when you need to be carrying everything you have, well, you only have 2 hands for that. So with 2 hands, you can only pretty much hold like a baton and a collector. But what these things do is well, guess what they do? They go on your wrist. and effectively is an extra storage slot. So let's say I'm using my baton. I don't need my baton right now for whatever reason. So all you do, and yes, every tool has this thing except a couple things, but they don't need to be put on a wrist stock or another thing, is these little squares right here. And yes, you guessed it, where do you think they go? So they magnetize onto the wrist stock like that. See? Pretty cool. It's an extra storage slot. You can buy 2 of these because you have 2 wrists, which costs $1,000, but because they're both $500 each, it's kind of worth it no matter what you're doing. It's an extra storage slot. You can go anywhere with it, and as long as you don't die in the acid with it, you basically have one of the best items in the game to use by yourself, especially in group runs too. Oh, overall, I definitely do recommend the wrist. Oh, hold on, I gotta take it off now. I definitely do recommend the wrist stock. Really good. Yes, I know it requires a lot of playing in order to get, but it's really good. I do recommend it. You can have 2, but the other one I'm going to recommend a little bit more. So, yeah, that's the wrist stock. Pretty good tool if you ask me. Now, going on to the next one. The Ratty Backpack. Now, the Ratty Backpack is pretty much the same thing as a wrist stock, as you get the same thing. It doesn't have the gem on here, which I kind of wish it does, but it goes on like that, and since it's a backpack, it goes on your back just like that. How do you get your stuff out of your backpack, you say? Well, you kind of just like reach your arm and kind of like grab it. Try to grab like the box or any of the tools hitbox, and you have it there. It is kind of hard to get it on without having to take off the backpack, but I definitely use the backpack a little bit more, especially since it's not more, I wouldn't say nuisance as the wrist stock, because with the wrist stock you can be having things on your wrist, but sometimes they can kind of like get in your vision's way for whatever reason. So I just use the backpack a little bit more than the wrist stock, especially since it is $200 cheaper to use compared to the wrist stock. But overall, if you can manage to get one of them and want to have them for cheap, I definitely do recommend the backpack over the wrist stock. But whenever you can, try to get these as early as you can, because these are game changers no matter what run you're in. Oh, excuse me. Alright, well, that was the Ratty Backpack. It's really good no matter what you use it in. But now we're going on to the next item. The Ecto Watch. Now, I kind of have mixed feelings about this thing. Yes, it can tell you... Okay, hold on. What the Ecto Watch does, it's in the equipment tab. It's kind of pretty much like tells you your stats. But honestly, there's only 2 things that actually tell you good things. But in order for this thing to work, you put it on your wrist, just like that. Oh shoot, I shouldn't have played Super Infection or Casual. Right. Okay. I apologize. I should have did this in Casual, but you can see here it has 3 hearts, which represents your amount of health in that time. Ghost Purge, which is not really useful. How much juice you have, how many credits you have, and employee levels. Now, I know you can't see it, but the numbers are like right here underneath my glove. And honestly, oh wait, one more thing. This little arrow right here will always be pointing at the Ghost Reactor. So, I know you can hear the whispering voices, but yeah, my server's bugged right now. So this arrow right here will always be pointing at this reactor right here, no matter where it is. So if you're ever lost in any level for whatever reason, then you can use this as a way to find yourself back, but at the cost of it being kind of useless, except for telling you its health, your health. Sorry. I don't really recommend buying this, because honestly, it's better to just memorize how many hits you've taken, so this way you can just come back to the shower and revive yourself or get full health back. Because yes, the shower, another hidden feature, the shower is not only used for just reviving yourself, but it's also used to get your full health back. So it's kind of like a medic nozzle, but not So just if you ever take enough hits, then you can just easily go to the shower and get your full health back. But like I said, I don't really recommend getting this. This should be like one of the last things alongside the shield upgrades to get, because it's not really that useful right now. I hope they buff this, or at least make it more useful, at least tell you things like you need to know, but not really that good. I'm sorry. But now we're on to our final upgrades. Jeez, if you've made it this far, honestly, you have a really good attention span. But I promise this is the last thing we're going over. The energy module. Now, what does this energy module do? Well, for example, whenever you buy it, it's going to come like this. But what you do use it for is you get any weapon of any sorts. Oh, hold on. You get any weapon of any sorts and you combine it. You see? It combines onto it. Now, what does this do? It gives you extra battery life. So, if you ever have to go a time without being able to charge your stuff, having an energy module on these things is really good, especially since you can hit more ghosts with it or keep the charge on for the baton long enough. It's really good, especially in solo runs. It allows you to keep your batons on longer, or even just any tool for whatever reason you need. But there is one tool you should never, and I say never, put the energy module on. What is that tool? Well, it's the collector. Now, believe it or not, you can put the module on the collector, but it doesn't do anything. Since the module was made to be like an extra battery or more battery life, the collector isn't exactly that. It holds cores. So, if you do have the energy module unlocked, don't use it on the collector. It doesn't do anything, okay? You kind of just waste your money doing it. I see a lot of people do that all the time, but just don't put the energy module on the collector. It literally does nothing. But as upgrades increase, like optimizer or peak power for the regulator, it just gives it more energy, but in turn of being it more expensive. Yeah, that's pretty much all it really does. It's just extra battery life for whatever you do. And yeah, that's pretty much it to say about that. It's pretty useful for solos. I wouldn't say it's useful for like group runs, because in reality you're always going to have like one or two people using collector and you can easily just charge your stuff. But overall, it's still pretty good. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. Later upgrades are amazing. I'm still trying to save up for those. But yeah. Well, that's it. That's all of the tools in Ghost Reactor. And yeah, I kind of just like threw them off screen. If you did make it this far, thank you. I really haven't been... these are kind of like my first couple of videos, so bear with me. But yeah, that's all of Ghost Reactor's tools explained. Now, there are more things to go over in the Ghost Reactor aside from the tools, but the tools obviously play like one of the biggest roles in the game, because like, well, you need them to progress. But yeah, that's it. I really don't know how to give an outro, but otherwise, I hope this helps you in the long run. The Tool-O-Matic is really good. This especially is really helpful to research. It's pretty much your research. It's pretty much your research points. You collect these. You put 6 in here. That's a quick little tip. I hope you know that. You should know that. But yeah, those are your research points. Like I said, have a good day. I hope this video helps y'all. But I might try to post more content on other things inside the Ghost Reactor, of course. Yeah. Alright. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. I know this is a lengthy video, but alright, I'm gonna stop talking.